Hey everybody, my name is Dylan Patey, and this is my 1994 Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4. Alright everybody, today is a big day for me and for the build of the VR4. Today's the day the block and the heads finally get into the machine shop. So I've loaded all into the back of my car, and to do it, I mean, it's a cast iron block. That thing is heavy. So I had to pull the engine stand over here and wheel it under the table, like just under the engine, so I could unbolt it and safely put it down, and then I could lift it, stick it in the back of my car. Now, what I'm doing, so I've got my slightly oversized pistons. They are very shiny and engraved. The block will get machined out, bored, it'll get new cross hatching, everything. So I'll make sure I have the perfect tolerance and perfect sealing that I need. Then next, I've got the heads in here because it's all gonna get hot tanked and cleaned. Then the heads, under high boost, they tend to warp because the heads are just aluminum. So if they warp too much under high boost, there's a section right next to the seal where coolant passage will crack and leak into the cylinders. So I'm gonna make sure that is machined out and then filled completely so I don't have to worry about any sort of warping. So let's get in the car, take these down to Turbo Lab, let's get back to work. Hey everybody, yesterday we just dropped off the block and the heads to the machine shop. So today I'm gonna work on getting the engine bay ready for that new engine block and that brand new, freshly built, just yumminess of a brand new engine. So what we gotta do, we gotta take out the old axles. One of them is torn, so we gotta replace it. We're gonna take out the brake booster, all the brake lines. We're gonna try to remove the ABS. We're gonna get rid of the fuel lines, and we're gonna see if we can clean up the engine bay, sand it down, see if we can repaint it, get rid of the rust spot that's over in that corner. So let's do it to it. Let's build a race car. I'm gonna go online and do a little bit of research. I'm coming at this with a hack and slash method, and I don't think that's gonna work this time. So I'll be back. All right, so here we are, a little update. I've got the ABS pump and a whole spaghetti mess of hard lines out. Pulling it out was actually pretty easy, so there were only 2 bolts holding it in. There's one right here and then one right here. We come up here inside, that hole right there was one, and the other one is right there. Now to pull it out, I bent this bracket up because that bracket sits up and over right there. So I bent it up so I could pull the pump through and out. And let me tell you, that thing is heavy. So I'm really glad I got that out. Now, ow. All right, now in the engine bay, I've got some more hard lines disconnected. So that ran to the front brake, and so did the other one hiding right in there, but that was ripped out with the ABS pump. Those all get replaced, except for these two. These two connected to the top of the proportioning valve. These 2 hard lines go to the back 2 brakes. So I need to make sure I don't bend or cut these or damage them in any way, because those stay as they are. Now, getting the ABS pump out and removing the proportioning valve, I did a goof. I goofed up. So right here, this is my clutch line. It runs up and behind the brake booster, up to right there. And yeah, I cut it thinking it was a brake line. So I'm gonna figure out how to get that brake booster off so I can get the length. I'm gonna see if I can get a new one made for me. Hopefully a stainless steel one. That'd be nice. But yeah, if you're doing that, be careful. Keep track of your lines and don't do what I did. Okay, so I just did some Googling to get the brake booster out. And I was hoping it was going to be as easy as taking the wipers off, taking the shroud, and getting into those access panels. But nope. So I Googled it, and I'm about to crawl under the dash and undo 4 bolts, and then it'll slide out. I'm going to sit upside down in my seat. Alright, I'm filming this from outside the car, so hopefully we can get some good angles. But should be really easy. There it is. There are 4 bolts. And then if we follow this brake line, there it is, right there. There is that pin right there. So there's just a cotter pin on the other side. Got to pull it out, and then it'll slide off. And then I need to get the 4 bolts right under there. I'm seriously gonna be sitting in my car upside down to get those out. So a lot of blood is rushing through my head. All right, it's out. There's the hole that the cotter pin went through. The 4 nuts that are 12mm deep socket. This poor thing, it has seen some better days. It has definitely gotten some brake fluid spilt on it in its life, but that's no worries. I'll sand it up, clean it, and repaint it. But now that that's out, I can get a measurement for my clutch line that I cut, and also pull the rest of the brake hard lines and get them out of the way, because those get replaced with braided stainless steel lines. So that'll be nice. I'm one step closer to replacing that insulation / firewall thing. Yeah, that. All right, the only thing left to really take off the axles is this castle nut right here, right on the hub of the brakes. So I'm gonna see if I can find a socket big enough, see if we even have one. And then we're gonna pry that off, pull the axles out, and carry on to the next step. All right, everybody, I got super lucky. This is a really big castle nut. As you can see, I did find a socket. It is a 32mm. This is the only socket that is even remotely this big. The biggest we have are like around 1 inch. So today's already a good day. Bam! All right, everybody, I've got the length I need marked in string and one of the ends that I need. So let's go ahead and see if we can't find a hose. Somebody that can make this hose for me. Let's go. Woo! All right, so we've made it to Eric's House of Hose. My dad trusts them with hoses that they make for his airplane, so I'm gonna trust them for the hoses in my car. So let's run inside and see if they can make us an 1/8 inch hose that can handle clutch and brake fluid. So the wild goose chase has begun. These guys can't make 1/8 inch line, but they pointed me to a place called Hose and Rubber. It's about 15 minutes away, so let's hope they can make some. Okay, here we are. Destination number 2. Maybe. I got it. All right, let me catch you guys up on what I've been up to. So brake booster's out. I got the wiper motor out. I've got the entire wire harness disconnected, so it's only coming through there and just hanging on. So I'll be able to just tuck that and wrap it up so for when I paint it. I got the fuel filter out. I've cleaned up a whole lot of these hard lines, gotten rid of everything I don't need. Down here you can see that line right there coming up. That is the gas tank vent hose. It routes up through here, down, and it comes into a charcoal canister right here for the evap system. Obviously my car is not gonna be street legal, so I'm getting rid of it. I'll go underneath, chase that line back and get rid of it. But as you can see, like, this paint is just peeling off. Like, it's not even crusty. Next up, I'm gonna get this heat shielding off, and then I'm gonna get as much out of this way as I possibly can, and I'm going to sand down all this rust and get it back to bare metal. So let's do it to it. It's out. Bare metal. Sand that down, paint it, and get it cover back up again.